Hi, and welcome back. We are now going to review or go over some information about Microsoft Excel. Specifically, we're going to deal with three functions. The first function is sum, the second function is count, and the third function is average. And I'll show you how to use those three, and also how to create your own little spreadsheet. And we'll have a little activity when we're done here. Alright, so for the purpose of this activity, what I would like to do is to show a spreadsheet that lists some states in column A and then has their population listed in column B. So if you would open up Microsoft Excel, and we're going to create a spreadsheet that looks much like this, and you can pause this video at any time just so that you can keep up. I am going to insert the names of our 5 most populous states here in the United States according to the 2013 recent poll or census. First one being California, and then after that is Texas, followed by New York, and then Florida, and finally Illinois. And again, you can pause this video at any time if I'm going too fast. If it takes you a while to get those names typed in there, that's fine. Alright, and then we're going to enter a population, a number of people living in the state. And again, the goal for us is to come up with the answers here: total of states, total population of states, and the average population of states. So in California in July of 2013, we had approximately 38,330,000. That was the population of California. In Texas, we had 26,440,000. In New York, the population was 19,650,000. In Florida, we had 19,552,000. And in Illinois, the total population was 12,882,000. Alright, so we've got 5 figures in there. 3833 followed by 4 zeros. 26440,000. New York was 19,650,000. Florida was 19,552,000, and in Illinois it was 12,882,000. So those are your states and your populations. And now what we're going to do, come down here, is get an answer to these questions. Now, first of all, how many states did we use? Well, we can come up here and just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can type in the number 5 right there. So that's pretty easy. Total population of states, and again, we could add all those numbers up. There's actually, I'm going to show you 3 ways to do all of this. The total population of the states, we would just want to add all those numbers together. And again, whenever we're doing any mathematical calculations in Microsoft Excel, we always start with the equal sign. So hit the equal sign, and then I'm just going to hit each cell followed by the plus sign. So I want to take this cell, which is B2, click on it once. It'll add it down here, B2, and then plus, and then click on the next one, which is B3, and plus, B4, plus B5 plus B6, enter. Once we do that, it will give us a grand total. It looks like 1,168,500,000. I've said that wrong. 116,854,000. Sorry about that. Alright, so that's the number we've got. And then what's the average population of states? Well, to get the average, we take the total divided by total population of states divided by the total number of states that we've used. So we've used 5. What we're going to do again is just put a calculation in here. Starts with the equal sign. We're going to take whatever's in this cell here. So we want B11 or B12. So click on B12 and hit the backslash key where the question mark is next to the shift. B12 divided by, and the total number of states, which is B11, and hit enter. And so here you have an average population of those 5 states would be 23,370,800. That's the average. Now that's one way of doing that, but there is also an easier way. So when we look up here, if I click in this cell, you'll see there is no mathematical formula. So if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to go and find out what the average population is of the top 6 most populous states. Well, I'd have to add a state here, add a number here, then come down and change this to a 6, and then down here I would have to change this formula to include B7. So let's do that. Let's go in here and add Pennsylvania. I'm just going to put Penn for Pennsylvania, and their total population is 12,770,000. Okay, now I've added that, but you'll see the total population of states did not change because we did not include B7 there. So I'll come back up in here and hit the plus sign, and now we're going to include B7. Hit enter, and now this number has changed. The average population has changed, but this number is incorrect because we're dividing it by 5. In actuality, we have 6 states up here. So we need to come back up here and make 6. So you can see if we add information up here, there are several changes that we have to make down here. Excel has some functions that allow us not to have to make a whole lot of changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and highlight these 3 cells right here. I'm just going to highlight those 3 by clicking, holding, and dragging down, and then I'm going to hit the delete key, and that will erase everything that I've got in there. As I click there, I see there's no formula up here in this box up here. So total number of states. First function that I want to show you is the count function. And again, whenever we're doing functions or calculations, we start with the equals. So we're just going to hit the equals and then type in the word count. What we want is Microsoft Excel to count the total number of cells, like this cell right here, the total number of cells in a given range that do not have blanks in them. So we're going to type in the word count, and then followed by an open parenthesis, and we're going to click here in B2, click and hold, and drag it down. And I want you to come down to B9. So B2 to B9, and then release the click and end parentheses followed by an enter. Now you'll see here it includes the total number of states. It says that it's 6, so it's counting every cell here in the B column from B2 to B9. It's counting all of that. It includes these 2 here, but there's nothing in those cells, so it does not it's counting it, but it doesn't count it as anything. So it only counts the values. These 6 cells have values, so therefore the answer is going to be 6 down here in the function. So now if we were to go back in and add another state, that 6 would then change to 7. We wouldn't have to come back down here and change and update that. It would do that automatically for us. Now the total population of states, before we would say we want it to equal B2 plus B3 plus B4 plus B5 and so on. What we want it to do is just, hey, let's sum everything together. In other words, add them all together and give us a total. So again, equal sign in B12, and then type the word sum, S-U-M, and then parentheses. Again, we're going to come up here and click and hold and drag it down. Let's come again all the way down to B9. So we're going to sum everything up between B2 and B9, end with a parentheses, and hit enter. And there you have a total of 129,624,000. Now that's kind of cool. So now you have the total population of states and the total number of states, and again you can come into the average population of states and hit equals B12 divided by now B11 and hit enter. So there's your average, which is kind of nice. However, we still have yet an easier way to do this. An easier way to do this is just to come down. I'm gonna come down to A15. I'm just gonna do average again. Average population of states. I'm just gonna copy what's in 13 A13. So this is going to be the same as this. And over here, I am just going to type in a function. Again, it's very simple. I'm just going to hit equals and then type in the word average. So Microsoft Excel has that already built in. I'm going to average everything that occurs between B2 and B9. And in parentheses, and there you have it. You have the exact same number here in B15 as you do here in B13. So there's 3 different ways. You can do it manually by hitting this cell plus this cell plus this cell, so on, divide by the number that you calculate in your head. You can count them up manually, or you can do it an easier way, which is to have Excel count them for you. And then the easiest way here is just by going into Excel and typing the formula average, and then it sums up all of those and gives you the same value. So again, feel free to replay this video or to pause it at any time, but now we have a homework assignment for you, or a class assignment for you. I want you to do this for me. I want you to create a spreadsheet that has at the top in A1 the words student name, and then I want you to put in B1, I want you to put student age. And then you are to find out from the folks in your class, find out what their name is and how to spell it, put their name here and put their age here. Your job is to create a formula in B14, B15, and B16 that gives us the appropriate values. So in B14 we want to know the total number of students. That needs to be a formula. So I don't want you to just add it manually and put in a 6 or put in a 3. You're going to have a formula that puts that in there. I also want a formula here that helps calculate the sum of all the ages. So from here in the B column, and then for B16 you want the average age of the students in your class. Again, feel free to rewind, stop, pause, do whatever you need to do. Even if you have questions, you can ask me and I'll help you. There are other things that you might be interested in doing, like color coding. If you wanted to do that, you could color code some cells by coming up here and messing with that. But that'll be later. That's not important right now. Once you get that done, I'd like you to save it as Excel homework. Save the file as Excel homework. Save it in your student directory, and then you're going to email it to me as an attachment, and I'll help you with that if you need some help. Good luck.